Episode 3527, Find Freedom in Forgiveness.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. I hope you're enjoying some fabulous sunshine and maybe some great football too. Who knows what you're up to, but you know what? I really do hope that you're having a fabulous time, especially with the one you're sleeping with. Oh yes, it's Relationship Builders. Find freedom in forgiveness. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already had the opportunity, you want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter, the Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, inspiring connection and community. You know, in the hustle and bustle of daily life, because man, wouldn't it be nice if it was just Christmas? But now it's like every single day. In fact, it's every single hour. It's all too easy to fall into the trap of keeping score in our relationships, especially in marriage. But what if instead of keeping score, you chose to find freedom in forgiveness? Well, as you know, it's just so simplistic, honestly, that we find ourselves mentally tallying up who did the dishes last. Oh, wait, the laundry too. Who took the kids to school? Who took them to their activities? Oh, maybe it's who emptied the litter box, right? Who took out the trash? Who planned the last date night? Oh, and whose turn is it to get the kiddos ready for bed? Oh, just all of it. Responsibility after responsibility after responsibility. Can I just not? Can I just not? We keep track of all of that. But what if you let go of the need to constantly measure your spouse's actions against your own and instead focus on fostering a deeper, more loving connection? How would that make you feel? Maybe you would feel a little bit like, this is absolutely craziness. Like, I don't know how to feel. This is a new feeling because I do everything, okay? That's a valid response. So is, well, you know what? I kind of just like keeping score because it makes me feel better. That's a valid response. Now, I'm not saying they're right and correct when you're looking at living and building a strong foundation in your marriage. But I am saying those feelings are real, right? And you have to recognize those. But you know, I'm all about a good football game, right? But in this case, in your marriage, the score of your game needs to remain 0-0. So let me ask you, what's the score? And if you are thinking twice, you're keeping score. You're like, oh. If your mind begins to wander, if you can't be quick on the spot to be able to say, oh, no, Christiane, that's not me. I'm not keeping score. If you're like, oh, no, he didn't take out the trash this week. No, I did it. I picked up everything. I took care of it all. Really? That means you're keeping score. My friend, how do you keep score to not keep score? I mean, think about that question. You're like, oh, I don't know. How do I? You got to connect to the heart, not the scoreboard. That is your Kiss to Keep It Simple strategy. Connect to the heart, not the scoreboard. Now, understand that when you're keeping score, right, you're looking at somebody's words and actions in a marriage, right? We're not talking about the field goals. We're not talking about the touchdowns, even though that's great. I'm all about everybody winning, right? I mean, come on. Who doesn't love a good college football game? Okay, maybe I'm the only one listening here, but it's fabulous, right? But we can't sit here and just take our words and actions and say, well, if you don't do this, if you don't do that, and put them on a list and say, well, I need to check this off. And as long as you meet my little checkoff marks, oh yeah, we're all in. Keeping score, really? Is that the relationship that you really want? See, there's a lot of patterns there that lead to a lot of other things that are quite nasty. And I'm not going to go down that road. Okay. I'm not going to do it. There's a lot of other people that are doing that. I want you to look at your own patterns. I want you to own your own junk, and I want you to own where you are in your marriage. Now, if it's good stuff, fabulous, right? You want to own that too. But if it's not, and you're having these second guesses, and you're like, man, maybe I am really keeping score, and I didn't think of it that way. Maybe I am tallying up, I've done laundry. I've already folded it. I've already put it away. What has he done? Now he's griping that I don't have the dishes done. He comes home and all of a sudden he's crabby because I'm sitting on the couch for the first time in like 3 weeks. Been there, done that, right? Yeah, that's called real life. And I understand that that's a valid point. But the thing is, if you are loving your spouse because they are doing something for you all the time, let me tell you, in the end, you will not win, and neither will your marriage. It's going to die, and it will die in divorce. That's just how it's going to go down. And you'll end up with a broken heart that needs mending. Now, I know that everything that we do here at Create Your Now, it's not about making your life perfect, because it's not going to happen. As much as I like to say I've got an incredible marriage, which I do, I love my man with all my heart. I love him more today than I did yesterday, the day before that, the day when I met him. I mean, I thought he was adorable when I met him. Huge glasses. Anyway, the kids, they joke about it all the time, because back in the day, he wore glasses, well, he still does, but he wore glasses, and they were like the really, really big ones, And so every once in a while, they'll kind of be like, yeah, Mom, Dad, this is what you look like. Hi, hon. Oh, hey, you look cute. I mean, they sit there and tease him. Anyway, it is hysterical. I know you have to be there. But when you go back, you want to be able to love your spouse more than when you first met them. If not, let me tell you, you're probably keeping score. I'm just being real with you. And like I said before, I love a great football game, but if you are living your marriage as a football game, your scoreboard is going to break pretty soon, which means your marriage is done for. And I don't want it to be that way for you, right? So even though you're looking at the scoreboard and you're saying, gosh, the words and actions, like they're just not adding up. They do have power, yet if everything is done because one of you wants the win, you're married for the wrong reasons. I mean, you just are. You don't see the person you're sleeping with. That is a big, huge red flag. Yeah, penalty after penalty after penalty. I don't want you to live that life. But what I do want you to live is I want you to reach overtime. And I want you to see if you can reverse the score a little bit and say, you know what? I don't have to keep score the way I have been doing it. I can do it in other ways, as in I can love my spouse where they're at and connect to the heart. What does that look like in real life? Number one, practice empathy and understanding. One of the most powerful ways to let go of scorekeeping in a marriage is to practice empathy and understanding. Put yourself in your spouse's shoes. Try to see things from their perspective and approach disagreements with compassion. Not with hostility, not with, oh, I got to win this. Because when you let go of the need to be right, having that win, and instead seek to understand, you create a foundation of trust and emotional intimacy. And that is building a strong foundation. When you have trust and emotional intimacy, you can go far. But you can't do it if you're not willing to give up that win. For example, instead of getting upset when your partner forgets to do something you asked, take a moment to consider what might be going on in their world that led them to the oversight, right? Don't sit there and try to be the boss, right? I mean, seriously, they already got a boss. They don't need you bossing them around. And I guarantee you this, your husband did not marry you for you to be his mother. Just saying it out loud. And same thing, wife, husband, your wife does not want you to be her father. You are to love each other in a manner that brings two unique individuals together as one. And by approaching the situation with empathy, you open the door to forgiveness and deeper connection. In this game of love, the score that truly matters is the one where both partners feel seen, heard, and loved. Is that happening in your marriage? Be honest. In this tally, you can keep tally here. When I asked you a question, this is where you do keep score. So you know where you stand. However, I will say this, don't beat yourself up over it. I'm not saying this is where you go, oh my gosh, I'm the world's worst spouse ever. Say that faster times. World's worst spouse ever. No. That's not the position I want you to take. The position I want you to take is, this is where I'm at. This is my reality. But guess what? I get to choose and make a decision as how I respond to what happens in the next hour, and tomorrow, et cetera. So I can be 1% better today than I was yesterday. And when I have that attitude, guess what? My marriage is going to get better too. But it can't be all about you. And let me tell you, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, well, you know what? It is all about me. I mean, it is. Well, let me tell you, go get some help. I'm just going to leave it at that. Because life does not revolve just around you. And I could go deep into a rabbit hole, but I'm not going there because we will not get out of there for hours. There's a lot of selfish people out there that are married that say they have this mindset that, yep, I got married and you are to serve me and only me. I will control you. I will do what I want when I want, but you are here to take care of me. I don't care if you're female or male, wherever you are in that spectrum. If that's you, I beg you to go get some assistance because there's an issue there and it's greater than your spouse making changes. And you got to be honest with yourself. There are many marriages suffering right now, many families, many kids that are suffering because their parents or one parent won't put on their big girl panties or their tidy whities to say, you know what, I failed here and I need to go do something about it. Stand up. Be a woman or be a man, right? Be that woman. Be that man that says, you know what, I do care about my marriage. I do care about who I am and who I am becoming. And don't get all caught up in your own head that you are the gift to everybody around you. Most likely, you probably aren't. If you have that ego and that reflection as you look in the mirror, if that's how you see yourself, right? We need to humble ourselves. We need to really look and see what are we doing? Because see, when you do that, you think the win is as important? No, the scoreboard doesn't matter anymore. So if you're one who's really keeping score, let me tell you, there's other things that are happening you need to check out. Number 2, communicate openly and honestly. Another key to breaking free from the cycle of scorekeeping is open and honest communication. Not demands or hints of, this is right. You know, you got to be doing this. No, create a safe space instead for both of you and your partner to express your thoughts, feelings, and needs without fear of judgment. If you cannot be real with your spouse, something is wrong. I'm tired of everybody tiptoeing around these things. You know, you're coming to me, I'm the burning bush. I'm not beat around the bush. I'm going to tell you like it is because people are failing in their life. They're suffering because of their own choices or because of somebody else's. And whichever end of the spectrum you're on, you can get some help. But you have to be willing to look at things openly and honestly. And one of those things is, okay, how am I communicating? Am I being a jerk? Now, I get it. We all can be jerks. I can be a jerk for sure. In fact, I probably was a jerk a few days ago. Actually, I wasn't. Most of the time, my husband and I, we get along wonderfully. But every once in a while, he'll push my buttons and I will push his. It's called life. But we also know how to come back together. And we know each other. We love each other unconditionally and we support each other. And we know what's going on in each other's lives. We know where the stress is. We know where things are. And so we carry the barometer with us. And we know, okay, well, maybe we just need some assistance here. He just needs some extra love or he needs someone just to lean on. In fact, maybe I don't even need to ask him about his day. And maybe not even tell him about my day. Just tell him, hey, thanks so much for being who you are. I love you. And maybe that's all that needs to be said. Sometimes you need to have those moments, those days. But you see, if you're not in tune, if you're not communicating openly and honestly, you're not going to be able to create that safe space. And by fostering a culture of open communication, you can address issues as they arise, not because you put them on the back burner because you're just going to walk on eggshells. You're going to beat around the bush. No. You can come together and both be burning bushes and get done what needs to be done, but love each other unconditionally in the moment instead of letting everything fester and lead to resentment and bitterness. When you're getting to that point, let me tell you, sometimes it's hard to fill those cavities. So for instance, if you feel like your partner isn't pulling their weight in certain aspects of their relationship and they're having these candid conversations about your expectations and how you can support each other better, you need to be able to say, you know what, this is what I need right now, and not feel in jeopardy of being honest. And let me tell you this, if you are listening to your spouse say something to you and you're like, I am so over this, I'm done, there's something more. And I am begging you to go get assistance, whether it's through a certified licensed marriage coach or counselor. Maybe you need a trauma counselor. Whatever it is for you, you need to find help. Whether you're hurting or whether you think you're hurting somebody else. Because let me tell you right now, it just doesn't go away on its own. So if you are in the process of just like, gosh, my spouse just isn't pulling their weight in certain aspects of the relationship, have that candid conversation about what you're expecting. Can you do this? Can you help me there? I need this here. And when you openly communicate with each other, you pave the way for understanding and forgiveness to flourish. That's where it shows up. My friend, true love thrives in the vulnerability of honest communication. And unfortunately, nowadays, we don't even know what the word truth or honest means. And to have it in the same sentence, you're probably like, I really want you to think about that. We have got to start taking responsibility for what we say, the actions that we take, or the thoughts that we think, along with anything that doesn't happen. Your inaction is as bad as your action. So let me take you to number 3, because we could go down another rabbit trail. There's a lot of rabbit trails on this one, let me just tell you. Number 3, cultivate gratitude and appreciation. I'm telling you, Alice in Wonderland, it would be Wonderland, all right, today. I'm just saying. To shift away from keeping score and moving toward a more loving and forgiving mindset, you've got to cultivate a practice of gratitude and appreciation. Now, there is a difference. Gratitude is truly, in my opinion, being grateful. So showing ways. Appreciating is saying ways. Now, you could say, well, that's reversing it. You could do it. You could do it the other way. But you see, some of it is showing and the other is saying. Okay? Our words need to be expressed. Okay? And our gratitude needs to be expressed also, but they come in different fashions, saying and showing. So take time each day to reflect on the qualities and actions of your spouse that you're grateful for. Show appreciation for the little things they do, whether it's making you a cup of coffee in the morning or leaving you a sweet note on your desk, whatever it is. By focusing on the positive aspects of your relationship and expressing gratitude on a regular basis, you create this sense of mutual respect and admiration that transcends petty grievances. We could spend weeks right there. You've got to have in your marriage a sense of mutual respect and admiration. If you do not, you're slowly dying. You're killing your marriage. There isn't much of a hope even. Because what's happening is then every single thing that doesn't add up to what it is becomes what? Part of the cavity. The bitterness, the resentment. The little petty grievances add up to the hole in the heart. And you wonder why, gosh, where is it? But gratitude and appreciation helps to fill those cavities, even big ones. But you've got to put it into practice. So make it a habit to express gratitude to your spouse for their contributions to your shared life, the two of you, no matter how small. Remember, you're in this together and you're better together. And this is going to help you both feel valued and loved, strengthening your bond and fostering forgiveness. You see, marriage is a dance, and gratitude is the music that keeps the rhythm of love alive. Are you doing that in your marriage? Are you actually coming together and saying, yeah, I love you for who you are, even though you're not perfect? Now, you don't have to say that last part of it. In your mind, you may need to say it, so you're okay with it. But a lot of people don't know how to forgive. And in marriage, finding freedom and forgiveness requires a shift in mindset from keeping score to embracing empathy. Embracing open and honest communication and what? Making sure there's gratitude. By letting go of the need to tally up perceived slights and instead choosing to forgive and love unconditionally, you, as a couple, can deepen your connection and create a relationship rooted in understanding and compassion. So let me ask you this. Is that what you have in your marriage right now? Or is that something you want to have in your marriage? Or maybe you're in between right now. You kind of have it, but you don't. That's okay. But own what you do have or own what you don't have so you can make the changes you need to have. right? You get a choice to make a decision today that will impact your tomorrow. And overall, you're better together. So long as you're looking at this saying, okay, we're going to be 1% better today than we were yesterday. And we're going to be 1% better as a couple. And if you all can come together like that, and you can create this synergy of harmony and respect and admiration for each other, wow. That, my friend, is a marriage on fire. That's the burning bush you want to have in your marriage. So as you navigate the challenges of everyday life with your spouse, remember that the true victory lies not in winning imaginary competitions, right? I know, let's go about the marriage football game. I love it, but that's not what we're here to do. But it's in building a foundation of love that transcends scorekeeping and flourishes in forgiveness. Go in peace, be present, be incredible, be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed day. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.